after lunch, so I know sometimes you don't want to be the speaker after lunch, and you don't want to be speaker right before lunch. But so we have this afternoon, but it is a great day. My name is Debbie Petrie. It is my honor to have served in several capacities at this institution. I started as assistant director back in 2008 and served as interim director from July 1 of 2015 until, oh, August 31 of 2016 when I was named director. And as of July 1, I have this great, wonderful title of president. So on behalf of our faculty, staff, and students, I want to welcome you here this afternoon. It's not many people who get to celebrate 50 years of being part of an institution such as this one. You'll hear from some speakers today who have played vital roles in getting us to where the Tennessee College of Applied Technology, Jacksboro, is today. And one of my favorite sayings is, it takes a village to raise a child. Well, it also takes the entire community to make a campus successful. So we're here today to celebrate the last 50 years and embark upon the wonderful adventure for the next 50 years. I would like to introduce Campbell County Mayor E.L. Morton.
Director Petrie, Chancellor, Vice Chancellor, faculty, staff, students, great day to come out and celebrate with you. Education matters in Tennessee. We're talking about jobs in Campbell County. We're not just talking about them, we're creating them. We have engineering jobs open in this town, in Caryville, Tennessee, today that are going to be $60,000 and up. Science, technology, engineering, and math is growing all across the state. And because of this institution and our K-12, and of course our own state campus, people take us serious about this, about jobs. They take us serious when they think about locating business here. And we take it serious, and we want to send a great message to the world. And 50 years of solid contributions here in education and training is a heck of a mark to take out there into the market and sell with. And we sell it every day, but those people standing across that back row, that's our product. And we're extremely proud of it, and we're extremely proud of the people that made it happen, and that's the folks sitting right here. So we expect everybody to take their part in this adventure, creating jobs and a better life in Campbell County. And when I look around, I'm confident that everybody will. So happy anniversary, and let's look forward to another 50. God bless.
Another great supporter of our campus is La Follette City Mayor Mike Stanfield. And he agreed to come because we had food.
You can't beat the food when it's free. I'll tell you what, this is such a beautiful day and a great day for the city of Caryville and the school here. I have my wife with me today. She was one of the students here back in '67 and '68. And I was in high school. I was in high school when Vinnie was coming to vocational school to get a degree in business. And she's been my wife for almost 47 years. We dated 5 years before we got married. And it's such an honor to see all these young kids. And to be honest with you, it's really an honor to see so many old people. And I swear, when I say old, I mean old friends. We go back to we were kids, some of us. You know, Kim Prater over there, the guy with the camera, and Tilbert. I knew Tilbert when he had a head of hair. You know, and he got no hair, you know what I'm saying? But all jokes aside, let me say I'm the mayor of La Follette. I retired in '06 from the Public Works Department. I was director of street and sanitation. I'm a soldier. I'm a Vietnam soldier. I'm a 23-year cancer survivor. I met a gentleman here today. I never met him before in my life. He's a Vietnam veteran, and he graduated from mechanic school here in '68. His name is Mr. Norton. If anybody here is a Vietnam veteran or a veteran in general, please raise your hand. I want to personally thank you for your service. And young people, you look at these veterans. The reason you're going to school here is partly because we fought for your country in Vietnam and these other wars for you to have these rights to attend school. And on behalf of myself and the Seal of Follett, I just want to wish you the very best in life. Enjoy your youth while you can, and stay trusted in the Lord, and you'll be all right. Thank you, and have a good day.
We have many people who support us that unfortunately busy schedules keep them from being here today. But I'd like to ask if I find Ann. Where is Ann? Okay. Ann may have had to leave, but she was on the phone with Senator Yeager. And Senator Yeager and Representative Powers will be here later this afternoon. This is a really big day. AT&T will be here to present a grant check to our CIT program later this afternoon. So with other conflicts, they were unable to be here, but both Senator Yeager and Representative Powers do send their well wishes. And now, obviously, I have one of the best jobs in the world, but my job would not have been as easy without the two people that I'm going to introduce next. Uh, I have the privilege of being only the fourth leader of this institution, but before me came three very fine gentlemen. Mr. Clarence Breeding was our original director, and my understanding, Tilburg gave me a history lesson, and Mr. Breeding came on board July 1 of 1967 and hired one employee, Miss Margie Silcox, who couldn't be with us today. My understanding is he also brought a manual typewriter from home so he could have her do her interview. He asked her to type down why she was the right person for the job and why she wanted the job. So I think we've come a little ways now. We do have some computers and printers, so we don't have to do the typewriter. But Mr. Coy Gibson honored us with his leadership from 1987 to 2002. So, Coy.
You can tell that time flies and old age kind of takes its toll because I have to make. But I will give you just a quick history lesson that years ago when these schools was getting started. Well, actually before they got started, that Sputnik went up, and at that point in time, we just assumed that all the Russians were hairy knuckle Neanderthals hiding behind the Iron Curtain. And then when Sputnik we realized they were ahead of us. And so we had to do something. The Federal Act of 1963 brought all of these technology centers into being. And our job then was to provide a pool of trained and semi-trained people for industry to draw from. And even in those days, we realized that people were going to have to be retrained 3, 4, 5 times in a working lifetime. And we trained people when industries closed, and we trained people when industries opened, and we did that every day. And that's the mark of the quality of the education here. And Debbie carries it on, as long as David Browder, that we did our job every day to the best of our ability with what we had. And we're very proud of what we've done, and we're really proud of what Debbie and David Browder and James King and everybody else has done for the community. Thank you.
And could not be a part of this celebration without David Browder. David served as our director from 2002 to 2015, and I'm not quite sure, he's just a tad older than me, so I'm not sure why he's retired now and I'm still working. But Mr. David Browder.
Thank you. I just sitting there listening to the history lesson and realizing, Debbie is just the fourth director in 50 years, and she's still currently serving. So if you do the math, that means there are only 3 directors for the first 48 years. That's a long time for each director to serve, but that also gives a lot of continuity in the leadership to kind of keep a team together and work together. But really what it tells me is the staffs for those first 48 years were very forgiving and tolerable and had thick skin to put up with us for that length of time. But I'm really proud to have been a director here. I was assistant director for a couple of years, and James gave me the opportunity to be director in 2002. And a lot of times, I mean, everybody says, that when I've retired, I've ran into a lady in Lenore City that I see every once in a while, and she hadn't seen me in a while, and she looked at me and she said, "You look good. I don't know what it is." She said, did you have your teeth whitened?" I said, "No, I'm just smiling a lot more now because I'm retired." but it's really, there are times when the job is tough and difficult, and I remember when it would get that way, I'd just get out of the office, walk up and down the hallways, and see students learning and teachers teaching. And then those moments when you go to graduation, that's when you realize why you do what you do. The teachers, the students, everybody plays a role, and it's really something I appreciate so much, having been a part of an organization that helps students learn skills, get jobs, earn good pay, and be able to take care of themselves and their families and contribute to our communities. It's just, that's just, what it's all about. So I want to thank everyone that's here, and I appreciate being a part of our family tree here at Tcat Jacksboro. Thank you.
And we have a lot of support not only from the local and state level. We also have the national support. So Ms. Tammy Merritt with Congressman Fleshman's office is here with us today. So I'd like her to bring his greetings. We just had a leadership team come back from Washington, and they had the opportunity to sit and talk to the congressman one-on-one. And I was excited to hear how impressed they were with what the congressman is doing for higher education.
Thank you, Director Petrie. I didn't know I was going to speak, but my name is Tammy Merritt, and I am honored to serve as Congressman Fleshman's field representative for Campbell County. He sends his regrets that he wasn't able to be here, but he does offer his best wishes and congratulations for your 50th anniversary. It is a great day for Campbell County and the Tcat organization. Um, Thank you very much, and I am privileged to be here, and I wish you all the best and another 50 happy years and successful.
Okay, and every time you have a function like this, it's so easy to miss names. So if I miss a name, I am sorry, but I do have some people I want to recognize. Miss Vinnie Stanfield. She was in our original office occupations classes. She started in January of 1968 and graduated in December of 1969. She was the only first student that we could locate that we could get down here. Thank you. We also have a strong relationship with our county school department. Mr. Larry Nidifer, Director of Schools, and CTE Director Robbie Heatherly were here for lunch, but unfortunately had to get back and do some real work. So they also wanted to thank everyone and just know that they're an integral part of what we do here at Tcat Jacksboro. I had a couple of school board members who have not been able to make it. And then I have some General Advisory Program Committee members. If you're on one of our program or General Advisory Committees, would you please raise your hand? It's a very strong network, and this is the reason we're successful. Without the business input and that leadership, we might not steer our ship in the right direction. So our advisory members are very critical. In addition to the mayor from Campbell County and La Follette, we have Deputy County Mayor Andy Wallace, who is also big in economic development, so we work very closely with him. I have two of my state partners here today with the Department of Economic and Community Development, Mr. Gary Human, one of my special friends. Gary and I have been recycled several times. We worked together before. Also from the Department of Labor and Workforce Development, Mr. Tim Witt. And then we will hear from Chancellor Dr. Flora Tidings. Along with her, we have Dr. Lynn Goodman with the System Office. One of the people who gave me a chance to, he came in and when he named me interim director, he said, okay, you're not a seat warmer. I want you to treat this job like you want to keep it. And I hope I've done that to this point, and hopefully will continue to be able for him to say, well, not a bad choice. Mr. James King. Also, I have some of my counterparts from our sister institutions, Tcat Oneida Huntsville and Knoxville, President Dwight Murphy, President Cliff Whiteman from Crossville as of Monday, and Miss Kim Glass from Tcat Crossville. Also, I have Miss Teresa Duncan from Rome State Community College. Not only is she a good partner, uh, we're very fortunate to have both Rome State and Tcat Jacksboro in Campbell County. So it's a good partnership. Miss Tracy Powers, our local person, is kind of torn between things today. She was going to try to get here, but obviously she's still doing real work. She's recruiting students at Cumberland Gap. Have Miss Kelly Cox from EFRA Workforce Development. And I don't know. How many graduates, alumni do I have sitting here today? All right. These are people that are wonderful. And as you can tell, some of these hands being raised are, they should have raised, are current instructors also. So we are really fortunate to have those. Now I'm going to do a list of former employees who have retired, but most of them are still doing activities. So I'm not sure what the new definition of retirement is. So I'd like to give them a chance if any of them would like to come up. Obviously, you've met Mr. Gibson and Mr. Browder. Portia Hatfield. And as I've said, Executive Vice Chancellor, and now a new title, Interim President at Northeast State Community College, has done a lot for our system. Has dedicated his, I would think, entire adult life. I'm not going to get into ages, Mike, but Mr. James King has dedicated many years to the Tennessee Board of Regents. We started as vocational technical schools, Tennessee Technology Centers, and now the Tennessee Colleges of Applied Technology. So, Mr. James King.
I know Gary Human's been spreading the word that I was working for Tcat since '67. There's no truth to that rumor. That's it's pretty dang close though. But anyway, I can look back that I am probably one of the last administrators left in this system that actually worked when we were part of the Department of Education. And prior to 1983, the state area vocational schools were operated by the by the State Department of Education. And one of the best things that ever happened to our system is when we moved to the Tennessee Board of Regents. I remember being on the stage as a 26-year-old, as that time not director, we were superintendents, under the Department of the State Area Vocational School at Whiteville. When I was called into a meeting, and when I walked in there, they said, "Mr. King, your seat's up on the stage." And I first thought they were joking with me, and they weren't. And so they put me up on the stage with 6 other people, the other school superintendents and the president of Jackson State. And Governor Alexander walked in, and he spoke 15 minutes, and I never understood a word he said. He mentioned Board of Regents and lead institution, all this. All those terms were totally Greek to me. And I'll never forget that he said, "I'd like to hear what the administrators think about this." And he pointed to me first. But an astute politician then, I said, "Governor, sounds like a good idea." And it has been a great idea, not just a good idea. But, to look back, I feel like I've had a lot of success in this system. But I had the privilege of one of the last people that when I became a director in '83, half the directors at that time were still the original directors. I had the pleasure of working as a peer to Clarence Breedy, and learning from those guys, and then building on what they had. And I truly remember the 85-15 rule, And you wonder, why did we have so many veterans coming to the state area vocational schools at that time? The governor talks about free community and technical college now. Prior to 1983, we were free. All you had to do was be able to buy a book. And so a lot of those veterans who were coming out, they got all their GI Bill to live on. And they didn't have to pay any for tuition, just buy a book. But I remember having veterans that we'd come in and, let's say an HVAC class was at 85% veterans, I'd have to send them out and say, "Listen, if you go find a non-veteran and bring him back, I can register both of you then. And we did that. That was a recruiting tool. And you know, and the fact that that you know this system has done so much. No set of institutions has changed lives quicker than these institutions have over the years. When the economy gets bad, rely on these institutions because you can turn a life around really quick. You know, when unemployment. And so, it has truly been a pleasure, you know, to be part of this system all the way up front and to see these titles raised, thanks to Chancellor Tidings, to presidents. It's what long overdue because the status in the community that these schools deserve. And it's my pleasure right now to introduce my boss and the chancellor since February. I'm not going to say she came as a community college president from Chattanooga State. I'm not going to say that during the Georgia-Tennessee week, she's from Georgia, but you may wonder that. Anyway, Chancellor Tidings, please.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, thanks to all of you. It is truly an honor for me to be here with you today. What you have sitting here today under this tent is the legacy of this college and how it was built. You've heard the stories. You've heard people talk about what they did to help create this system. You know that James King was a monumental part of it, and really since he was 2 years old, he has worked for this system to make it great. And we do change lives. We do that every single day because we identify our life with our job, with our career. That's who we are. That's who we become as individuals. It helps define us. If you talk about hierarchy of needs, we need food, water, clothing, shelter, and next we need a job. We need to be able to provide for ourselves, for our family, and be contributing to our community to be a fulfilled individual. That's what we do. It's what we do every single day is to help people achieve those goals. So I could not be more prouder to be a part of a system that helps people accomplish those goals in such a positive way. You've heard from the legacy. You also have sitting under this tent today the future. The next 50 years will be just as momentous as the last 50 years. You will see change coming. You will see us growing. You will see us making a difference in people's lives just as remarkable as have been made already. The young people that are here today, they don't remember the monkeys. They don't remember the Vietnam War. They don't remember a lot of the things that those of us that have been around for that number of years do, but they're making their memories right now. The things that they will be talking about in 50 years when they stand up and talk about their memories of Tcat Jacksboro will be just as remarkable and just as memorable for them. I congratulate you, President Petrie, for the great job that you are doing. To the presidents that have been here before, thank you for this rich legacy you left for President Petrie to come into. This is truly a shining star in our system. You do your job extremely well, and I'm very proud of you. Congratulations, and I look forward to being back to celebrate the next 50.
An integral part of workforce development in Campbell County is the Chamber of Commerce, so I'd like to introduce the Executive Director, Ms. Christy Elkins.
So TCAT and Chamber are kind of a sisterhood. We lean on TCAT so much, and I feel like that they do the same. We've developed this really great professional partnership, but also friendship, and I think that's something that you can see both with the students here, but also with the staff. I have friends that have attended here and that are attending here that are adding such value to our community, and there's just such a quality of education here. And when people call the chamber going to relocate, we're so proud to tell them that we have a TCAT right here in our own hometown. So we are so grateful that you all are here, that you are continuing strong, and for my children, that you all are continuing the legacy and the quality education that we have here. So we are honored to be here today to help celebrate the 50th anniversary of TCAT with a ribbon cutting, our favorite thing to do at the chamber. So we ready? Great. Okay. Oh, okay.
every one of you could join us at the front of the building. We're going to do our, they have these wonderful, great big scissors that my students want a pair of. But we're going to do our official ribbon cutting to celebrate the last 50 and the start of the next 50. There will be cake and refreshments in our media room once we're done. But I would like to close with a quote that I stole. Actually, if I say it's a quote, it's not stealing, right? But this morning, we have a great partnership with our local news media, and one of those partners is WLAF. When I check it every morning, as I do, the quote is, "As much as the Tennessee College of Applied Technology has changed since 1967, it has also remained much the same. It's the same facility that began helping students from Campbell and surrounding counties 50 years ago by continuing their education. Though names and faces have changed, and so has some of the curriculum, it is still doing its mission." So, Jim, thank you for that. And if you will join us for a ribbon cutting.